So there's examples, I guess, for all of my uh um attestations. Like there's gonna be something where you could say there's some wiggle room. Like the one, like women are not allowed to have male friends. You know, like not even a gay priest. I mean, there's it depends on your society a little bit. I mean, there's going to be differences in different societies. It depends on what their modality or something is. Uh, and the reason I'm thinking about this way is because I want to push back, but I want to fall into some traps, right? Where it's like it's a prescription, like it's dystopic prescriptions that you want to push back against, right? And you have to win 10 out of 10, and they can win two. If they win 2 out of 10, they look like they won 5 out of 5. So maybe that's why people say that the truth is barely putting on his shoes, like a lie gets around the world before the truth even puts on his shoes. So okay, if you're debating somebody like that, you'll notice like a lot of times the moderator, when they stop the two people, right, and when it's like because nobody's letting each other talk, sometimes it was that person's turn to talk, and so like a moderator that doesn't do that good will always say the fault lays on both parties. Like they're always gonna be nice to both parties, even if it's unfair, because debates are not really governed on fairness. It's governed on who's heavy-handed enough to persuade the other. So basically, you just fall on them like a tree. So if you're gonna do that, then going into a debate, you want it to be slanted in the favor of the opposition. So when you destroy them, it's even more unanimous, because debates are a chore. People might like to watch debates, but the best debaters, it's like a chore. Look what happened to David Koresh. Like, look what they did to David Koresh. He was one of the best debaters. And whether or not, people make up their opinions on whether or not he's pure evil or whatever, but he didn't burn his children. That was the FBI. He didn't incite violence. That was the ATF. That was FBI and ATF. They shoot through water towers and spark situations so they can, when they, because they're already overwhelming. They already have overwhelming force, so they just wanted to trip them up. So people want to be like, oh, but that's bad. David Koresh he was stockpiling ammunition. Like you can't debate somebody where that's a plus, where you say like, I wish I could stockpile ammunition. Sorry about the sniffles. Excuse me. It's early in the morning and still sniffles. So when if somebody has your back a little bit, or they put on for you a little bit, if somebody starts attacking them, you have to you have to go and defend them. So when I heard this term like pick me's, I was fucking insulted, because it's just like that's a way to try to cheat so that it's slanted all the time, is that you can just say that if anybody agrees with you, they're sucking up, they're kiss ass, and they're pick me. And it's like, well, it's like, okay, so are they trying to say that just like, oh, you're one of those bitches that has a bunch of male friends, and like all the other girls are suspicious. I don't think there's this not saying they're the same kind of person, you know. Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. It's not just that whether or not women are allowed to have any male friends. It's how do other women see women who have male friends? How do they look at them? Suspicious. They look at them suspicious. Bitch, what are you doing? My sister told me that. You know, it's like my sources. If it comes down to how persuasive my argument is, sometimes they say look at the source, and like my sources for like a lot of things are. You would think that how would you believe the enemy? Like you're like I'm not believing the enemy. I'm saying the enemy might spin or weave a lie or deception around a little piece of the truth. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because you know that there's something is trying to get to skew a perception about truth. Like it's going to be about the truth. You're not going to get rid of that just because it was cleverly deployed in a tactical way. So how much effort does it take to explain your point of view when I agree with you? Somebody might express my same viewpoints, but I might not believe them. I was like, are you really that? Or somebody's been watching you've been watching my channel or something, you know? But that's kind of fucked up, man. Trying to say that, oh, you're starting to take on more perspective just like me or something. I mean, I think there's been things that, so I went off on tangents, and then when I was coming back to reality, some of the little pieces of truth that was built into my little tangent, you would think like, oh, that's not acceptable, but it is acceptable. So now it's like a stage of are you have enough fortitude to believe your own perspective, like you trust your own dissemination. And there are those are the NPCs. Those got to be the ones then, because they get up and they have new motivation, and it's just like 100 monkey syndrome or something, where they all got put on the same page, like through MK Ultra, like it just got piped into their dreams and when they're asleep. And that's how we're gonna win them over, because we're gonna mess with them in their sleep. You can't, if you try to touch one of these NPCs, they're choke fucks. They already want you to do that. They love being accosted. They love being a victim. You can't, that's the thing you can't take away from them, is being a victim. And since you know, something has to give, because people that are victimized want to not be victims. So people make a choice not to be a victim, and then they try to weave some dystopic prescription, and if they can't, then they try to fuck with your dissemination. So like certain like little associations that you make will like now mean for something else, you know. And so it's like a paradox, and it's like shifts. So like now in England, it's, you know, you can say cunt, you can call your friend cunt and all that kind of stuff, and it's not a cuss word or anything. It's not derogatory toward women anymore. Or you can consider shit to be a bad word, but in the Arcturian lore of Camelot, you know, it's Cam's lot is the shell of the body. So shit is Excalibur. It's not bad. It's Cancer energy, so it's a good thing. It's responsible for the lawns is green, and the hedgerows are green and everything. So it's like the fertility and the okay, so here's how it goes, right? It's the apple of a man's eye is and the shell of the low. So all a man has is the apple of his eye and the shell that is shed, right? Excalibur, sheath, like unsheathed Excalibur. And Excalibur, just another name for shit. Like I suspect all of the words for God is now a word for shit, and all of the words for shit become a word for God. Like burr, ash, clef, tire, soot, and set, or like Saturday, like when you sat. My friend was just like saying like when you sat. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be a shapening and a shit. And it's like he did this thing with his hands, like it's like it's so, that shit sticks with me. It's like a download or something, and like I can elaborate and make it an instant that's only 10 seconds. I can stretch it out into hours, on based on individual little disseminations that there's like 50 packed into a second or something like that. You can go on and on and on. I mean, you know, I'm not saying that it is this. I'm not saying it's that, but I'm just saying you can. It's like an exercise. To me, it's like a brain exercise. Since I only do 10 push-ups, I only do the bare minimum. You know, that's why you can only do 10 push-ups, because you will only do 10. You just gotta, well, you know, if you make your mind up, like I said, this is bullshit, and pump out 30, but then 30, but then you're sore for like tomorrow, you can barely do 25. I shouldn't be admitting that shit. I should just lie. Somebody might want to test my metal or something, and they're just taking the stats, like a baseball card or something. Stop doing that. Hey, stop doing that. Whoever's doing that. You irritate. Nah. Because I do it too. Like, you do it, everybody does it. It's just, you don't actually have animosity. Like, you just do a little compare, like, cause I'm gonna stop there though. Because women check your bulge, they probably wonder if it's for grow or for show.